David,
but still, like I
David, I
said,
want you to let's drill down into that a little bit, if you don't mind, David,
okay.
because there are points where I kind of disagree with you, but I want to have a full understanding of your opinion on this. So, because judges and lawyers and states get a little bit of the money that's given to them from child support, you believe the entire
Not
system is
even a
wrong?
lot.
I just want you to drill down. I want to drill down into that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, you should be responsible who you have sex with, and bringing the laws into as well as child support. I mean, who knows what's really fair? Because everybody got different personalities, and you don't want to discriminate and treat. Basically, I'm saying the law going regardless going to discriminate against people
So,
regardless.
so,
Yes,
so we're not going to hold, as men, we're not going to hold ourselves accountable for where we put our seed.
yeah, you be responsible for your seed. If you have a baby with someone and y'all don't get along, that's what you have to deal with, and never promote less people. You know what I'm saying? Having irresponsible sex, and it's like actually a natural way to curve, a lot more than what the current rates are as far as out of birth and wedlocks and stuff like that. That stuff like that. If you know that you ain't getting woman ain't getting no child support, she's gonna be a lot more selective with who she has sex with, and she gonna really get not be mess with the bad boy. Gonna be attracted. It's gonna be that blame dude that's getting paid.
Okay,
Straight up, that's gonna
but
change the
let's
dynamic
just real
automatic.
quick. Let's just say that this system isn't in place. How does she benefit from having a baby by the guy that has a ton of money if he decides that he doesn't want to be in the baby's life? I just need to understand where your opinion is on this, because, like, it, where I agree, women need to keep their legs closed. I also believe that we're responsible for where our seed goes, and if something blossoms out of that seed that we planted, I believe that we're also responsible for making sure that we water that flower and grow that flower and do our part to uh to take care of the kid that comes out of it. But what if this child support system did not exist, right? Let's just assume it doesn't exist, and a man walks away, then w- what is the consequence then? How is he accountable? What can he be held accountable for? Like,
I
so how
mean,
would a woman even benefit from having sex with a with a or having a baby from a rich guy?
that's a good point, but I mean, um, that's just the whole thing of natural a natural way to solve an issue to where it won't become an epidemic. Because right now, the single mom in a daughter rate births in the black community is an epidemic portion. So the curve that a natural way to do that is not have the laws. And so like when people hear of how these bad boys they like, what I'm saying, not treating them good, and then the younger generation come in and they're gonna hear that stuff and they ain't gonna want to deal with that. And they're gonna go right to the nice dudes. They gonna go to the nice dudes, the lame dudes, get the blue collar man go over gonna probably shoot really go on another level if that happened.
So
You know
you're
what I'm
sa-
saying?
so you're sa- so your opinion is the women will become more selective and will likely go for
They gonna
more of a marriage minded kind of, like, if
Man,
you
the
remove the
bad
laws.
boys will be out. If they took the law of child support line, bad boys will be out. Because women going to death. I mean, like you go back to like the war between France and I think it was Russia. You know what I'm saying? Russia came in, started having sex with these wives and stuff like that, and just dominating. You know what I'm saying? These Russian men having sex with their wives in front of the husband, and then actually the women, the French wives, start actually falling in love with the Russians. I mean, they just that dominance alone made them start falling in love with the Russians. And then when the Russians left, it was crazy, man. Them husbands was mad than a mug in France.
Um,
Ooh wee,
Nas, and then I have something to say about
woo.
that.
Yeah. So
Go ahead, Inaz.
I think sometimes when we get into this conversation, we like missteps on like how we got here, right? We women have been making babies with people, like with men, for a really long time, right? We didn't start to see these child support, like extramarital, right? Like we these child support laws really came in when we started to do away with shotgun weddings. When fathers would be like, "Nah, you knocked up my daughter. You're gonna have to marry her and make an honest woman out of her." That's when child support laws started to come in, because men weren't being held accountable. Now, if you're going to propose a very different way other than child support systems to hold men accountable who choose to opt out of the repercussions of their decision, I'm open to hearing it, right? But there has never been a point in time, with or without child support laws, where there wasn't women having children out of wedlock. It didn't exist. It might have been less talked about. They might have been shuttled away into like the outskirts of society. It might have been hidden. It might have been, somebody else adopted the child and pretended like it was theirs. Like, there's a whole lot of that stuff when you start digging in. But we look at child support as if like it's some sort of benefit to the woman. Like she's out here winning on it. That's for the child.
Oh
Taking it
my
away
goodness.
leaves children.
Daycare is like almost $2,000 a month.
Yeah, so like it leaves children in a compromised situation. So how do you support this child who did not ask to be here, and as a repercussion of two adults making a decision for one night of pleasure, right? And now here's this child that has to be taken care of.
Good night.
So what do we do to make sure that that child is able to become a functioning adult, a functioning member of society? If you have another option that's not child support, I'm all ears. But right now, I can't think of another one.
Or
And you know what's so-
or you try to be the custodial parent and then receive child support from the mom. Like when in these spaces, a lot of times I hear the stats on fathers are better parents, they have better outcome for their children, and they should be the ones that are raising their children. But at the same time, I don't hear how many fathers are actually wanting to take that role on. In fact, the stats show that majority of the time, it comes to an agreement that the mother should be the custodial parent. So so on one hand, if fathers are better at being the better parent, then it would make sense to me that we should see stats that are showing more fathers are trying to be the custodial parent, but the stats don't support that.
That's because so that when you get into that, if a woman fights, what happens is it becomes very expensive. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of men don't have the time or the money to really fight that battle, but because it is an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle for men because we already know that the courts tend to side with the mother. So in order to see the real statistic on it, you're right. We need to see more dads with being the custodial parent, but courts don't typically don't give the custodial rights to the father. Also, it's two different proceedings for child support and custodial rights. The first thing typically that happens after the breakup is the child support case. That's typically the very first thing that happens. And then if the mom really wants to be a B word about it, she can keep the kid from the father. Yes, she can.
Yes, you can, but now there are laws. There are laws where you can hold her into contempt if you have custodial rights. If you have custodial rights, most states support you holding her in contempt if she keeps that kid away from you. If
I hadn't gotten to that part yet, though.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is, so from the child support case to the visitation and custodial case, you could be looking at 2 or 3 or 4 months, And if the mom really wanted to be a B, she can keep the kid from you for that amount of time. And then when you go in for that custody hearing, one of the first things that the judge asks is, are you in their life? It's hard to be in their life if the parent doesn't allow you, at the time, the mom being the custodial parent, doesn't allow you in the child's life. And it literally is an uphill fight for men. It's and now see, this is where I differ a little bit, because I'm gonna throw the funds at it, because I mean, shit, that's my kid, and y'all already know how I feel about my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So those that can will, but most of the time, a lot of men run out of money before they can finish that fight.